All right, what happens when an incompetent administration is in charge of protecting our border? Well, at that point, actual leaders have to step in and take matters into their own hands. Well, look no further than Texas, where Governor Greg Abbott has tried his best to protect the southern border while simultaneously counterattacking Biden's disastrous policies.
With the National Guard and DPS working together, they are putting down mile after mile after mile of concertina razor wire border barrier right on the border itself. We're securing the border at the border. What these buoys will allow us to do is to prevent people from even getting to the border.
Well, instead of reporting on the unfolding tragedy at the border, the Houston Chronicle is trying to drive a wedge between Border Patrol and Texas that's actually helping. Quote, razor wire put up by the state of Texas along the Rio Grande is blocking Border Patrol agents from reaching at-risk migrants, including families with infants and unaccompanied children, and increasing the risk of drownings, according to a Customs and Border Protection document. Joining us now is Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. Dan, it's obvious, obviously. They're trying to keep the border open and keep traffic free and the flow of humanity free and unencumbered, as you and your government are trying to say, no, this is sovereign territory.
Absolutely, Laura. And the person to blame is one person for the 800 people who died crossing the border last year between San Diego and Brownsville, many of them into Texas because we have 2/3 of the border, and many of them have drowned. And who is that person? It's the President of the United States. He doesn't care that people are crossing the border. He encourages them to cross the border. Come. He doesn't care if they know how to swim. He doesn't care how swift the current is. Do you think, Laura, anyone on the Mexican side, do you think any of the cartel are saying, oh, no, we're going to give you your money back, don't you might drown? And so what we're doing is protecting our state, protecting our country. The concertina wire is working. The buoys that we are just now deploying are going to work very well. We don't want people to come here illegally. We don't want them drowning in the river. We even had a National Guard member who was in a park last year with his family off duty, and he saw someone out in the river drowning illegal. He dove in the river to save them, and he lost his own life. And so this is
unconscionable.
Joe Biden. This is Joe Biden, and he puts our law enforcement at risk, our citizens at risk, and all of these people, if they don't drown in the river, if they don't die in the heat, then many of them go into child and sex slavery in this country, or just indentured servants sending their money back to the cartels.
Dan, there have been some reports of Border Patrol agents cutting the razor wire that your states have put up. Now, this is Lieutenant Chris Oliveris, how he responded. Watch.
Yes.
By cutting that wire, by cutting the fence that we have placed as a state to repel, mass migration, this completely undermines our ability to secure the border. That's the whole purpose of why we placed that wire along the Rio Grande River, is to redirect, to deter any mass groups crossing that dangerous river, especially now with the extreme heat.
Right.
Now, Dan, have you heard those reports? I mean, now, this is upside down here.
It is upside down. We want to stop people from crossing. We don't want anyone to drown the river, but Biden is the person who's saying, he's coaxing them literally. He's never come to the border, but if he did, dive in. It's okay. The water's not that deep. No, this is a very dangerous situation that he's created. And by the way, I know that there was a letter by some Border Patrol person along the border. Let me tell you, look, Laura, I've been down there many times, and I can tell you the Border Patrol, overwhelming majority, they want our help. We're helping them because Biden has turned them into desk clerk at a Holiday Inn. We're actually securing the border with our National Guard. Look, in our budget that we just passed in May, we spent $4 billion in our budget of our taxpayer money to protect the border. And we shouldn't be doing that. Until we get someone new in the White House, we're going to see people drown. We're going to see people go into servitude. We're going to see people trafficked. And we're going to see American lives in this country impacted. So, Laura, we're doing everything we can, and the overwhelming majority would they support us. They don't support who makes a paycheck.
Here's how one Texas congresswoman, Dan, responded to the issue of these buoys just a few days ago on CNN Watch.
Yes.
These are buoys that are apparently going to create a floating barrier in the Rio Grande.
I think it's really important for Americans to understand just how dangerous, reckless, and deadly the governor's decision is. We know that Governor Abbott doesn't care about federal personnel or the personnel on the border anyway.
So, Dan, the buoys are more
yeah.
dangerous than the cartels, apparently.
Yeah, look, there are a lot of people watching right now that are at a beach somewhere in America, and what we often see in a beach area, there are buoys out there to say don't go beyond these because it's dangerous. We do that in a swimming pool. Don't go in the deep end. These buoys out there are sending a strong message. This is dangerous. Don't try to swim across the river. It breaks our hearts when we see children or adults drown. But this is Joe Biden's fault. He does not care whether it's fentanyl or people drowning. He doesn't care about human lives.
Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, great to see you. Thanks so much.
Yes.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.